used to be under the seats a long time ago. A bit difficult to believe, eh? Well, as you can see, the interior's a total ruin, a shambles, very bad shape, because of so many centuries of decay, no maintenance, earthquakes. Italy's an earthquake country, and then pillaged everywhere under the popes. So this is what we have left, huh? Anyway, you see over there, below us, there are concrete slopes. Now, the Romans had discovered the use of concrete cement, first time in the world. The Greeks and the ancient Egyptians never had concrete cement. And this new type of building material the Romans used extensively is what enabled them to revolutionize architecture and innovate. So the Romans became expert, incredible constructors, builders, famous for that. Rome gave so many great architects, engineers all the time over centuries. Brilliant, genial, anyway, that's why in Rome they had buildings with a lot of curves. The Romans didn't like straight lines. You know, the Greeks had only straight lines, the Egyptians too. Whilst the Romans loved barrel vault ceilings that you saw below, and curves and bends and slopes. And in Rome, because they had concrete cement, they started building domes like the Pantheon. It's got the world's largest concrete cement dome ever erected out of wet cement. Here inside the Colosseum, you see all these walls standing upright one after the other, like ribs. Well, those were all the walls that were covered above with concrete slopes a long time ago, which are all missing except for bits and pieces. Concrete slopes began below by the arena, went flying up, covering up all those people you see walking there, downstairs, upstairs, and all the way around. So all these walls were covered with concrete slopes, even above our head. You see the concrete slopes there below you. They used to keep on running, flying above our head, and they joined up with the slopes over there above you. Okay? So that's why I said we were under the seats. Because all these slopes carried above them row after row, ring after ring of marble seats, going up on different levels, like our stadiums. You can see that bed over there. Look on the other side. You can see a portion of a slope surviving. The grey cement without the marble seats fixed above anymore, except for the lower part. Because that lower part, there's a reconstruction of archaeologists using original marble seating put together. We're missing, they put in bricks. So it's a remake, but original marble seating. And if you look under the seats, look at that corridor. Underneath it's all concrete cement. And you can see the corridor that used to travel near the arena used by senators down there, where people are walking now exposed. Okay? And then you can see the other corridor further up, like a train tunnel. Well, that's the corridor here below, where people are walking. So above all the seats were covered, everyone. And women sat right up there. You see where the railing is? There's a little portion of the women's floor. That's where all those columns were, 80 columns. And in the women's floor, in those columns were wooden benches going up steep. Over there they used wood to lighten the building. And above the columns, on days of games, were thousands of professional sailors positioned up there, who, when it got hot, would spread out all the canopy, made up of 80 gigantic strips of linen sails that could cover practically and blot out, cover nearly all of the sky there. Only the middle was left empty, elliptical like the arena. You know, down there, all the games and events took place on top of a flat oval wooden stage that used to be on top of all those ruins there. But the wooden stage is all missing. The planks were all covered with the topping of yellow sand in antiquity, and in Latin sand is called arena. That's where we get the word arena coming from. And that sand was important because it prevented gladiators slipping, sliding in their ferocious combats. also acted like a sponge, absorbing spilled blood, and made it quick and easy to clear up between events when teams of slaves were sent out there after each event to scrape away all the areas blotted, stained, and to rake away and put new sand there. So, yeah, let's say all very functional. That's the word to you. Underneath the stage, out of sight, where all the rooms are below, were two underground different levels where there was a maze of corridors with scores and scores of cages of all sizes and types below. That's where the night before game slaves filled up all the cages with lions, leopards, panthers, rhinoceros, hippopotami, crocodiles, ostriches, hyenas, gazelles, bucks, antelopes, hippopotami, all brought from Egypt, northern Africa, and all types of African buffaloes, zebras, bucks, gazelles from Europe were brought, all species of bears from the Black Forest, from the Swiss Alps, from Hungary, antelopes, stags, deers of all types, Spanish bulls from Spain, wolves, hunting dogs, the European buffaloes that used to exist in the Alps. Now you just get them in Switzerland, they're going into extinction, because Europe had its buffaloes, a little bit smaller than the American ones. Utilized for games here, important, and tigers from India and Sri Lanka. So practically for centuries there was this continual traffic of animals arriving from distant lands to replace it. Anyway, the night before many of the animals were locked up there like that. The next day when the arena packed with 50,000 people, during the different hunting events where gladiators on the stage had to go out and combat, capture all types of beasts, the animals could be sent up from below using elevators. There are 48 elevator shafts down there. If you look carefully, you see like little boxes, one after the other, in 4 rows. In each shaft was a movable platform that could slide up with the beast on it, and working with winches and cranks, maneuvered by slaves underneath. So below the stage, like our theaters or opera today, there were masses of people working, out of sight, making everything work according to the program, like a backstage, but underneath. From there were rooms with all types of prop scenery, because in hunting scenes there are different parts of the wooden stage that could actually swivel round, and people would see now and again like palm trees and bushes appearing all of a sudden from below. Okay, and the middle part, the big middle part, was a huge strip of stage that had a elaborate mechanical device that could make the whole thing any moment during the hunting scenes turn around like that. A huge part of the middle, and people could see anything come out. Some emperors like to have shipwrecks, like a shipwreck done elaborately, and like that all the animals would start shooting out from everywhere as they were sent up, coming out of the boat. Or they invented all different things to amaze, astound them, because Rome was the center of the world, ruling a vast empire, 1/3 of the world's population. And so, they were living under this idea of Rome ruling the world and so on, the wealth, the taxes flowing in, the top elite, living in the utmost luxuries. So these games were elaborate, they had to, show the prestige of Rome, propaganda. The games didn't last every day, of course, because the costs were astronomical, stratospherical each time. I told you the tickets were free. The emperor's paying for everything. So they were periodical. In a year, they could take place on 5, 6, 7, 8 different occasions a year, spread out in the different seasons. On each occasion, the games here didn't last only one single day, but ran for numerous days each time. They could vary. Anything from 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days. And each different day, another public swarmed in with their tickets. This each time, the different emperors ruling could satisfy the entire megalopolis. And this is how the emperors were promoting their image, propaganda, increasing their popularity and political conscience, consolidating their power. So it was a political tool, to amaze and rule, astound, amaze and dominate.
Can I ask, weren't they able to flood the centre?
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm going to sort of take it by degrees, like an onion.
Okay.
And try not get mixed up. Because now you see I'm confounded.
Sorry.
What was I talking about? Let's go over there. First of all, the shade, I'll show you where the emperor and empress sat, okay?